Hey everybody, I'll make this one quick. It's just a thought I wrote down that I wanted to share before it was lost in my journal. Being afraid or angry versus being aware. And a lot of people can't distinguish between the two. A lot of people think if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. Because that's kind of my old slogan, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. I heard that and I've always lived by it, but not anymore, of course. I was just thinking that anger breeds anger, and is more. Here's the thing: do you believe that there's more good, or that the universe is is intended to be good, and that good has more power than evil? Because once you can answer that question, I can kind of then you can understand kind of where I'm coming from on the rest of it. A lot of people say that we're going to have to get violent, we're going to have to take back our government, we're going to have to protest this or that, whether it be with weapons, with words, and I'm not immune to at one time in my life believing that peaceful protest was useless, that it doesn't work, it's past that, we need to get pissed, we need to get angry. But kind of had a revelation the other day when I started to think about all the angry protests and all the civil unrest and the people who have caused the biggest problems. They tend to get forgotten history, and they tend to get lost within the woodwork of the rest of the angry world. But if you think of just a few examples, what about that? What about Tiananmen Square? When you think about that, you think about a man standing in front of a tank, peacefully protesting his, his rights, protesting against the militarization of, and destruction of his people. And then I thought about Vietnam, and I thought about that monk who set himself on fire. And and then I thought of MLK, a selfless man who, through peaceful protest of the way things are, got himself killed. These people will be remembered and go down in history forever. And they reassure people that standing up for what is right is the most important thing, and it shows people that people really are willing to sacrifice their lives for the better of mankind. Whereas violence just shows that you're willing to die for your anger. I'm not going to say violence doesn't have its place, because sometimes it's the only way out of the situation. But I'm not going to say that it's always necessary. So just a little bit of a thought there. My point is that good is stronger than evil. Therefore, peaceful protest should be stronger than a violent protest in the long term. Although I need to do a little more thought on that one. But while it's in my head, I'll put it out there. Peace out.